Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. H back. Time for the Quiz 3 preview. Man, time flies when we're going along through here. So, all right, we're starting with our buddy factoring right off the bat. Keeping them pretty basic here. Nothing in common. So, we're kind of keying this up as we go too. So, let's see here. All right. What do I know? I know the multiply number is positive, which means my signs are the same. That sign. So 55, okay, let's see here. 55, I don't have a ton of options. If I were to start playing with my calculator, there's my options. So this is kind of easy. 5 and 11. It does not say solve. There is no equals. Do not find x. Okay. Factor completely. We bust out the handy dandy chart. 49 is 7. Don't forget your x. 12 is 144. Again, just the number, not the sign. We take care of the sign in our form. First plus second, first minus second. So, first plus second, first minus second. We're good. Be careful. Hardy, do I slide and divide, guess and check? No. No. Do we have something that divides into all of these? We do. We do. Get that 5 out of there, and your life just got a whole lot easier. Multiply, add. Now I'm going to be going through the same stuff I did in the first one. Multiply to a negative. Okay, the only way I can get to a negative is one of each sign. This time the middle term, instead of telling me the signs, tells me the sign of the bigger number, which is positive in this case. So 28, in case I'm struggling, let's look here. How do I get to 3? Just like that. Positive 7 and negative 4. Bam. Telling you, the more you practice, the more you snap those off and they get easier. Solve by completely factoring first. Okay. Oh dear. Nothing in common. Okay. Choices. Choices, choices, choices. To me, guess and check is not going to be bad this time. Why? Because my first term is prime. There's only one choice. It's 5x and x. So this is not going to be bad. So let's ponder our 18 here. So 18 can get me 1 and 18, 2 and 9, 3 and 6. Now maybe I can play with this enough that I can see how this is going to work. Otherwise, let me get my 5 and my 1 over here. And I'm just going to start playing. Figure out a way I can get to 9 somehow. 90 and 1 ain't getting me there. 18 and 5 ain't getting me there. So, okay, it's not the first pair. 10 and 9. Nope. 45 and 2. Nope. Again, it's magic number with plus and minus getting there. So I hope it's this last one. If it's not, we're in trouble. 15 and 6. Oh, there it is. There it is. 5 and 3 is 15. 1 and 6 is 9. So we know that the middle ones go together and the outer ones go together. So if I want 5 to go to 3, and I want 1 to go with 6, and I want it to be positive 9, so I want the 15 to be the positive and the 6 to be the negative. Okay? That's one option for you. If you are comfortable playing that guess and check game, fast forward me on to the next problem. If you are not comfortable with the guess and check game, stick with me here for a moment, because we are going to slide and divide to get this done. So again, reminder on slide and divide. There's my slide. It's just a fancy way of saying multiply. So I get here. Now I got to play a little, so let's see. I need to get to 90. Again, I'm doing it off the top of my head. If you need a calculator, just start dividing little numbers in and just start working your way up. All right. Got to get to 9 somehow. Ooh, wait. Now here, I can get to 9 if it looks like this. So positive 15, negative 6. But again, that's not what I'm setting equal to 0. I got this 5 here still. So here comes the divide part of slide and divide. If it goes down nice, great. If it doesn't, make sure your fraction is fully reduced. 6/5 is. It goes back to the front. Okay, and I get to the same 2 answers. Either of those works, as you just saw. You pick one, but pick one and be really good at it so you can move quickly through it. Because otherwise, we've seen the time issues sometimes we can get into. Okay, and I feel ashamed of myself at this point. I have not been saying this every problem. What do we do first every time? We check to see if there's something in common. Okay, something going to 15 and 35. 5 does. They both have x's. Take the smaller of the 2 degrees. And then we're just dividing it out. 15 divided by 5 is 3. 4 minus 3 is 1. Exponent rules. We subtract. 35 divided by 5 is 7. 3 minus 3 is 0. Don't get freaked out by the cube. We'll deal with this other one, this easier one first. Okay. Because again, if I divide by 5, okay, I cubed root that. Again, I don't even need to know how to cube root it. It's still 0. 3, 0. That's a lot of zeros. But that's it. One last one. Don't freak out by the 4th. Treat it just like it's 16x squared minus 1. Perfect squares abound, people. There they are. The only thing I got to remember here is, instead of just being x, because x times x is x squared, this is going to be x squared, because 2 plus 2 is 4. I get here. My difference of squares, just like we did it up here. First plus second. First, minus second. Now, could I get to my 2 answers at this point? Yes, I absolutely could. However, big however here, I also, if I notice, I've got those 2 on here, I can break this one down again. Can I break this one down too? No. We have a difference of squares, not a sum of squares. And we're going to have to discuss one other twist that I had forgotten we had on here, so we will do that currently. These 2, can of corn, no big deal. Sorry, showing my age with my little talks here. So what about this one? So I grabbed my calculator. I'm like, this is kind of weird. So square root of negative 1/4. Already, I get an error message that says non-real answers. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of put this out there. If we have chatted about I at this point, we will go ahead and we will deal with this. If we have not chatted I yet, and I am checking one thing as I speak this out to be to see if I is going to be in our vocabulary before this quiz. So my apologies to those of you waiting on me currently here to see if I should be in the conversation. Yeah, I don't think I is in the conversation yet. So if we run into this situation, here's what I want you to do. At this point, you can circle that. Okay, I have no problem with that. The actual answer here would be plus or minus 1/2 I. You're like, what the heck? That's coming later. That's coming later. And Hardy, what if I forget to do this? What if I just get to here and I solve this, which we can do. Divide by 4. Take the square root. Now here's what you do have to remember though. Square root has plus minus. Square root of 1 is 1. Square root of 4 is 2. So I do still have to get both of these answers, which is why I personally like to factor it better so I don't forget and only get dinged for only having one answer. But again, that was a little crazy twist of fate that I wish we would have put just in the equations 1 and not there. But so it goes. Okay. So when we get to this next one, square the 2, square the radical. Square the 2 gets me 4. Square the radical just cancels the radical. And we're good. Multiply the stuff outside the radical. Multiply the stuff inside the radical. Good start, but we're not done. Which of our squares goes into 150? That one right there. 25, and 25 times 6 is 150. Break that down. Don't forget about the 21 that is lurking on the outside. Get that through there. Don't like radicals in the denominator. This is how we get rid of them. Remember down here, 2 radicals of the same just cancel the radical, because if we multiplied them, it'd be the square root of 9, which is 3. Don't get lazy here. Okay, if the guys are out of radical jail can be simplified, simplify them. Don't leave them. That will, again, be death by 1,000 minus a halves. We don't want that. More breakdowns. More breakdowns. 49 and 2. 64 and 2. Okay, Hardy, if I'm not going 100 miles per hour like you, how do I play with those? Basically, you're going to come here and you're going to start dividing numbers in. So like here, you would want to start with numbers that are less than, of course, 98. And you're trying to do these until you find the biggest one that goes in. So there's where my 49 and 2 came from. Same with my 64 and 2 over here. So you have options. 49 is 7. Always got to remember later about those numbers hanging out on the outside. Times 7 is 56. 5 times 8 is 40. Same radical, so they're like terms. I can go ahead and put them together. If they're not the same radical, you'd have to leave that. So we keep an eye on that. 108. Oh, let's play here. 108. 108. Nope. 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 36 and 3. 6 outside, 3 hanging out on the inside. Remember, you're just doing division with these. It's like long division. How many times 2 go into 7? 3. That's outside. Times 2 going to 7. 3 going out here. Whatever's left over is your remainder. That's what's going inside. 2 goes into 4 twice. There is no remainder. I'm done. That's how we do it. That little index number, that little root number out there, we're just dividing it in, and whatever's left over goes on the inside, if we have leftovers. All right. Oh, it's review time. Okay. Identify the vertex and graph. Remember. My vertex is at H and K. What if there's no number in there? 0. Keep whatever's on the outside. Do not change signs. That tells me the direction of my graph. My graph's opening down. 1, 2, 3. Each direction 1, not just 1. This is not linear. 1, 2, 3, 1. 3, 1. Off and running. Here, another place to be careful. Opposite of H, opposite of -3 is 3. Keep the K. The plus just means keep it. That's 2/3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Both directions. Step function. The little guys, you know, yeah. This business, yes. Graph the line like you normally would. The line x minus 1. My y-intercept is at -1. Go up 1 and right 1 because my slope is 1 over 1. Up and right, up and right. We go dot crazy with these. Okay, that's your base points, your filled in dots. The steps now are just going to the right until you see the next filled dot and put an open dot right below it. Do not connect the stairs vertically. That is a no-no. They're just steps hovering in the air like a hoverboard. Yeah, I don't know if that was a good combination or not. Okay. +1. +1. There's your intercept. Up and right, up and right, up and right. So this seriously is just like a regular line. You can even put that y equals in the calculator, get those points. But then you've got to, we're always making our bars going to the right. That is how these roll. That's that. Oh dear. Okay. First thing I'm looking at with each of these is which one does it fill in for? It will not work for both. Is 1 less than 1? Nope. Is 1 greater than 1? No, but it is equal to. Slide over to here. We're going to fill in the -1, excuse me, the +1 in for there, get my answer, move on to the next one. -2/3, is that less than 1? It is. Suggestion on the quiz. Please put this step in, because if you screw something up and you put nothing, I can give you no credit for anything, but I might be able to still get you some credit if you're going through here. So, I get this, oh, Hardy, I don't like fractions. Okay, well, guess what? -4/9 plus 2. Don't give me the decimal, though. 14/9. Otherwise, it wouldn't be hard to find a common denominator here of 9. Just make that 18/9. That works. Either one works. 4. Is 4 less than 1? Nope. Is 4 greater than or equal to 1? It is. -4 minus 3 is -7. Off we go. Last one, and I'll give you a warning, the quiz is slightly longer. It's 22 questions, but you kind of know the drill. I just added extras of a couple things in. I wonder if factoring might come more into play. Okay. I'm a fan of the pencil here. I'm going to show you how to do one line each way so you can kind of decide how you roll. If you're a good grapher, you're like, I got this. There's my y-intercept. My slope's -2/1. Make all my dots here. Not connecting them. The line has to start at 2. X equals 2, right there. That guy right there with a filled in dot. I'll make it bigger. X is less than the values to the left. All I want is those. The rest of these go bye-bye. So if you're a good line grapher, do that same thing for the second one. If you and graphing lines are not friends, here is your option, but it takes longer. Fractions always go in parentheses. You're going to pull up the chart. Now, instead of you graphing every single one, you're going to be like, hey, I get a head start here. I'm going to start at 2. So 2, -3 is my first point. So 2, -3 is an open dot, and I want to be going to the right of that. Well, as I go to the right, that gets me x values like 2, 3, 4, and so on. And so I'm just going to do, so 3, -3.5, 4, -4. I mean, if I want to do more, maybe I just want to do whole numbers. Either way, both lines are starting where the inequalities tell me they start. You cannot start at the axis just because. Okay? Hopefully you have practiced at this point, especially your factoring. You come in tomorrow, be ready to rock and roll. Again, we're looking at about 22 questions. If you've done your practice, I feel great that you are going to do great. We'll see.